this thing is just a little, it's just a little box. But I mean, it's got it's literally full. Like there's some high-speed steel boring bars. Looks like a right-hand cutoff tool. A whole bunch of shims for the turret style holder. That's what that's for there. Here's some more bits. It's carbide, high-speed steel cutoff, carbide, boring bar, high-speed steel guy made. This is some of the smaller stuff. Looks like the 1/4 inch stuff. Oh, there's a round nose there. Just endless amounts of tooling in this. There's a little cutoff, high-speed cutoff. I mean, more carbide. I mean, it's just every one of these drawers is filled with stuff. There's another carbide bit there. Look, more little homemade internal threading. It looks like. I'll get that to focus. Internal threading. I mean, all this stuff is all made by the guy. Here's some nice high-speed steel cutoff blades. These are the I guess the T-type or whatever you want to call it, with a thicker up on top and thinner down at the bottom. There we go. That's a slightly better if I can get it focused in there. Yeah, there we go. Nice pieces there. This is just the high-speed steel style Williams. Nothing crazy. Empty. Whole bunch. Looks like blanks. High-speed steel blanks. And still blank. There's a round nose. It looks like the guy started to grind. More bits. I mean, you guys can see every one of these drawers is just filled with stuff. I mean, I have an endless supply of bits. I literally. That one's an interesting one there. Huh? It's got quite the cut in it. I can't imagine that's for metal. It's probably for plastic or Delrin or something of that nature. It's a huge back cut. Nice big curve on that one. Anyways, so yeah, that's that little bin that it came with. Let's see what's in these down here. Got a Chuck Supreme. All right. Some Morse Taper with the key. It's not bad. There's my carriage lock rack. Lantern style cutoff, but it looks like the guy modified it to fit that Enco turret style. That's a boring bar there. That's not bad. This is a huge contraption. See, these are for lantern posts. I didn't get a lantern tool post with this thing. It only came with that Enco style one. So some of these like bigger ones I can't use. We'll keep an eye out for a lantern one. This was kind of cool. This is like goes to that setup there. Another just giant brick. Dropping more pieces on there. Another giant block of just bits. Right hand, left hand, round nose, threading. Already all pre-cut. They're all wrapped up in here. Those are bad. That's an interesting dog leg that doesn't have any. It's kind of straight. It's almost like it's missing its curve. That's interesting. Some random pieces there. This probably goes in the Chuck actually. From what I can kind of gather, probably goes in the Chuck, and then it's for bigger holes, bigger hole center there. Non-ball bearing. That's interesting. Let's see what else we got in here. Miscellaneous stock. Ooh, there's an old sock. Who makes that one? Huh? That's an old Craftsman. 12 point. Interesting. All right, what else we got here? Oh, here we go. This is that this will be interesting. Spindle lock nut lathe 925 of 1979. This is that lock nut that goes in place of that threaded slug piece that I'm going to take off and putting this back on. That's interesting. It still has the date tag on it. What do we got here? Oh, that looks like that's a Morse Taper sleeve for a 2 to 3 Morse Taper. So this will go. That's the drill truck with the 2 on it. So that'll allow the drill truck now to go into a Morse Taper 3, because this tang is a 2. So that's a sleeve. That's nice to have. Let's see, some sort of homemade soft jaw. Oh, there we go. Dremel Engraver. We'll have to plug that in, see if it works. Do some interesting stuff with that one. Funky. Flint striker. Oh, yeah, alright. Another dog leg. I don't have a faceplate though, so I can't really turn between centers if I don't have a faceplate. But I've got a couple of dog legs there, so that's cool. There's some bronze stock. Let's sort all this stuff out. Allen key. These are stones. All of these here, these are all honing stones. For what, I don't know. I don't have anything that's going to go with those. Another honing stone. That looks like a lead screw lock ring up here. This would essentially go. It's one of these here, right there. That's what that's for. The interesting thing as well is in this box I have this one. So I wonder, here's another one. So I have 2. Same size. Everything's the exact same. So I wonder if at some point maybe the lead screw on this thing was replaced, or these are just extras. Maybe the guy just kept extras around. I don't know, but I got 2 extra ones. So there's some more. This is just aluminum rod, some stock. Sorry for throwing stuff around, guys. What we got here? Oh, that's a boring bar. Internal. Round style. No name, just rusted out. This kind of intrigued me here. If any of you guys know what these are, let me know. They have numbers on them, so that's like inch and 11/32. This one says 15/16 on it. I don't know if you can read that there, 15/16. You know, ½ inch. So this whole box right here has all of these little dowels in them. I'm sure they're like pin dowels maybe, or maybe they're for measuring. So you get an exact measurement of some sort. But that one says 1/8 inch. Actually, I wonder, it's not looking at them, if they're actually thickness gauges, because that says 1/8 inch on it, and that across there sure the hell ain't 1/8 inch. So I wonder if they measured this way. I might have answered my own question. But either way, put some comments down there. It'd be interesting to find out what they're used for. Probably, I mean, for measuring, obviously, but it'd be interesting to find out what they're used for. Some black, looks like Delrin stock of some sort. Well, that's box 1. Let's see box 2. Box 2, that's die chem, so that is some more homemade soft jaws. Another lathe dog. We'll put that over there. Another set of soft jaws. Which is interesting. Oh, some more die cams. Those are homemade. Oh, I mean, they're taped together, but I probably won't be using them. Can never really trust them, so I'm assuming those are the same thing. Another set of soft jaws, homemade, taped together, no writing. This is a Carriage Stop, multiple set Carriage Stop. And this one did come with a mic style ones right here. Micrometer style Carriage Stop. You know, it does read, but this thing just as well with that V, runs in the V block there. It won't stop there, and allow you to stop the carriage at multiple different points if you're, you know, using the turret style tool post to do multiple jobs on one piece. You could, you know, set the stop on multiples. This is a homemade piece though. This was not purchased. Whoever had the lathe made this piece. Looks like some more round stock. This looks like just a bunch of stock. That's homemade. Delrin, bunch of metal. That's good. Some metal dowels. Stock, some more Delrin. Looks like big piece. Some more. Yeah, this looks like just a random stock box. Yeah, this guy's using that fancy cutter. Look at that, huh? Funky. What does it say? Poly Penco 100, type 66. Some interesting stuff. Behind the box, nothing. Okay. It looks like a homemade boring bar of some sort. That's interesting with some shims on it. Looks like this whole box is boring bars. That's internal threading. Interesting. This one's got cuts in it. It's an interesting box. There's another one. That one's all destroyed. Why even keep that? That thing's just nicked to hell. Oh, it had a piece of carbide on it. I don't know if you can see that on there. It had a piece of carbide on there, and it's done broke. So this thing's junk. Throw that away. There's another one. There's a carbide boring tool there. Big shank. A couple of smaller ones. That one almost looks homemade of some sort. What are these? Oh yeah, these are little internal boring. They're sharp, man. These are good. Nice. Yeah, so we'll go through some of this stuff here in a little box. Nothing behind it now. All right, on to box 3 now. Now this one has the most stuff in it, so we'll kind of systematically go through that. Oh, that's interesting. So this is looks like a homemade machinist die holder. That's nice. I've got a bunch of these, so I'll probably be using this. I'll probably make a shank on this side and allow it to use it. Although I think in this box, if I find it, there's a Jacob's Chuck shank that's threaded, and I wonder if that's what this was being used for. You could run it in there and do that. We'll see if we can find that. So anyway, so there's that. Way off topic, but so there's a shank style one. There's another one. Some more stock. We'll talk about the stock bin over there. That's an interesting one there. That I don't know. Looks like he may have made that. I think he turned that between centers. Actually, he probably made that for something. It's a homemade piece. I'll throw it in the stock pile. Looks like some more, just more stock. I'll see. Here's another piece. I'll put these over here. Here's another one. Looks like the guy made. Just it's threaded. You know, it'll essentially be stock. We'll toss it over here, but it could probably be used for something. More thread rod. I don't understand why. I found a bunch of this stuff actually in some of the drawers. Some of these other drawers that I'd already cleared out. A bunch of just rods and nuts and miscellaneous pieces. I'll end up throwing all that stuff away. This looks like the boring bar holder. The interesting part about this though is it's missing the bottom piece. There should be a bottom piece here that holds it down to the cross slide up there. But anyway, so let's interesting. Coolant pipe. Some more chuck jaws. And I actually take that back. These are blanks. So I wonder if these could be used as parallels. I wonder if these have already been ground the same. We'll give that a shot and we'll see. We'll measure it up and we'll see what's going on with that. No hopes or anything. Oh, here we go. Here's a T-nut. Face plate driver. It's a T-nut of some sort. So maybe that goes with this piece, with that boring bar. We'll hold that together and see what that is. Oh, I bet there's maybe the boring bar piece. Interesting. A lot of the stuff was very, very, I don't say crudely made, but very, very swiftly made. How about that? Here's some more lantern style holders. Ace tool holder. Interesting. These will take the, they're non-carbide, right? No, yep, non-carbide. So these will take those little 1/4-inch bits, but they're not going to do me any good because I don't have the lantern style tool post. So here's another one, Armstrong tool holder. What's this one here? Same thing, Armstrong. So there's the, let's see what's over here. There's the right, there's the straight, there's the left. So I've got the set. So right, left, I'm sorry, right, straight, and left. So that's cool, but I don't have a lantern. So we'll put those with the lathe dogs over here because that's just where they're gonna go. Jaws for steady rest. It's nice. I don't have a steady rest, but I've got the jaws. Those over there. Another set of 3. Taped up, nothing on there. There's another set of 3, nothing on them, taped up. We're gonna kind of swiftly go through this here. There's another set of soft jaws, aluminum, you know, die chem on them. So these are all, in my opinion, just stock. I'm never gonna use these things. Look, more die chem. They're made. Another piece made. This is, to me now, all this is just stock. It's just scrap aluminum that I can do whatever I want with it. I'll never use it. I do not trust them. Here's that Jacobs Arbor, Chuck Arbor. You can read it. Anyways, Jacobs Chuck Arbor, number 2 Morse Taper. Although I digress, it's got some sort of lug in it, some sort of stop with a nut. So I'll probably have to figure something out with this. And then what I might end up doing, because I don't have a chuck, I just have the Supreme chuck, but I'll have to figure something out with that. And I'll probably end up using it if I can with these. Try to make this a small die holder for the tailstock. Alright. Like some more just straight bar steel. This doesn't look like high-speed steel, although it might be. It might actually be more high-speed steel. Look, nuts, bolts, more rods, more nuts, more bolts. That's a big washer right there. Look at the washer. Ha ha. Interesting. Long. There's a long bar. There's a long piece of stock there, huh? Holy cow! We'll put that right back in its little resting place for later. And there's another one. Nuts, bolts, nuts, bolts, bolts, nuts, nuts, bolts. More bolts and more nuts. Some sort of collar attachment. That's interesting. Nothing threaded there. That looks like something you drove through concrete with. Whatever. Aluminum collar. Aluminum collar. That's just aluminum stock at that point. We'll just toss it over there. That's another sort of shank, although that one, it looks homemade also. Another homemade threaded shank of some sort. Another carbide boring tool. Put that over here in this box with the rest of them. That is a homemade chuck key. It looks twisted. Yeah, it's twisted. Then put a rod through there and do the chuck key. That's stock, in my opinion, now. Another piece of carbide tooling in here. Nothing too crazy. Here's a piece of square. It's like maybe 1/2 inch, 5/8 square, maybe. A bunch of smaller stuff. So this box here, I'm gonna scoot down a little here. Some nice. So this box is full. That zip isn't too bad. It's Morse Taper 1, although I don't have. smaller adapter, but it's full of drill bits. Some good, it looked like, some bad. Some on the other end. There's a counter bore bit that's nice and tight, nice and sharp. That's an interesting one. Look at that. The guy cut that. Funky. Oh well. I'm gonna use that for anything. There's some square rod there. These don't look too bad. 2564s, high speed. I can't read what it says, unfortunately. Let's try this one. Cleveland forged. That's what it looks like. The tips aren't bad, but they're rusted. So what I'm gonna end up doing, and at the bottom down here too, I can see them down here, are a bunch of really small, long ones. These are almost like pin drills, really long pin drills. I'm gonna end up taking a lot of this stuff, and I'm gonna do a evapo rust, some more square stuff. Do evapo rust on them, as you guys can see actually how well that stuff works. There's another Morse Taper 1 drill bit. What is this? Taper pin reamers. Alright. Well, that is a taper pin reamer. It is rusted, although it still has an edge to it, so we'll throw that in there. And there's a little small reamer there. We'll put those back in there. So anyways, so those are the boxes and all the tooling that it came with.